Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're having a great morning. It's a beautiful day here, the sun is shining, and I'm having my second cup of tea of the morning, my Twinings green tea. And yeah, it's a lovely cup of tea, and it's a good way to start the day with something healthy. I've actually found myself in the last few months really taking care of my health. I don't know whether you're doing the same, but it just feels like it's important in our 60s to be drinking, good tea that helps us. I mean, green tea is really good for you, and also preparing meals that are, are thoughtful, that are natural, plant-based, if you can do it. When we've asked the question in the community, lots of women have said they had a major shift in their 60s to eating well and taking care of their health. And it's not surprising. I mean, have a lot to do. We're out there in the world, just making a difference and doing all kinds of things. And in fact, this is the time of your life when you're supposed to have lots of confidence to get out there in the world and and help people, be mentoring, working part time, just doing all those things that you wanted to do that maybe you didn't have time when you were raising a family or working full time. But it doesn't always work out exactly like that. I mean, it's like a contradiction that women are free now in their 60s to do what they want, but we've had a few knocks along the way that might have given us, a dent in our self-confidence and, in our self-esteem. And that sense of not being able to do something, not being good enough to do a project that you really want to do. And I think that we want to learn new things. We want to be out there exploring the world and trying new things. But maybe we've had a couple of situations that have bruised us a little bit. Maybe we've been divorced, or we've lost someone that we loved very much. Maybe we've dealt with a medical situation that's really been a wake-up call for us, or perhaps someone that we know has gone through that, or one of our family. So I think that there's lots of things that can happen in this time of our life where it's the time to be confident and get out there and put yourself first, but also a time when you have to kind of rebuild, re-heal from some of the things that have happened to you. So I wanted to chat about some ideas for rebuilding and strengthening your sense of self-esteem and self-confidence in your 60s. And perhaps there's 6 ideas I've got here for you that are going to maybe give you some ideas for, just reminding yourself that you've got more strength, more ability, and more confidence than you perhaps think you have. So the first thing to do, of course, number 1, is to remind yourself of your strengths. And it won't take you very long to go back and think about situations in your life that you've dealt with. You've dealt with it well. You thought at the beginning you were never going to manage it, but then you did. I think that's really important. Things that you've always learned something from situations that you've faced yourself being in. And I think that just doing that, just reminding yourself how strong you have been through tough times, gives you a foundation. It gives you a basis for telling yourself you can do it. Whatever it is that you're facing now, you can do it. And then, of course, remind yourself of the people that you've touched, the people that you've touched in a positive way. Sometimes this is a hard one because especially our women who have been teachers. I know we have quite a few teachers, and things that teachers did, to help children. You honestly, how many children have you taught in a lifetime? Thousands. And you probably know maybe 1 or 2 have come back and said that I remember you teaching me this, or I learned this from you. But know that you did. Same with nurses, people who have helped. I mean, you've helped hundreds of people in life or death situations. And just remember that they can't find you now. I mean, you've moved on, but in their hearts, they remember you. So that's another thing, to remember the positive things that you've done for other people. Second thing is to set focused goals. Don't be abstract, be specific. What do you want to do? What do you want to do that's very, very practical and specific? Do you want to learn a new language? I want to learn French. I want to learn German. Do you want to reread your books that you haven't read in a while? I want to reread whatever the book is that you loved. Set yourself goals that are achievable. So don't, just say, I'm going to learn, a language in 6 months. Say, in 2 years, I'm going to learn how to speak German fluently, or to a standard that I can get by. I think it's just a way of looking at goals in short term leading to long term. And we've talked about this a lot before. Just do one step at a time. Just the act of setting goals, though, makes you feel confident and centered and able to do them. So set focused goals. Another thing is to embrace your mistakes. And this is something that, I know we think about this all the time and beat ourselves up for making mistakes. I could have done this differently. I should have made that decision. If only I had. How many times you've said that? And I know that many of us have shared similar situations with the financial crash in 2008 affected lots of people. And you can say to yourself, okay, I should have done this. Great in hindsight, but at the time, like we always say, you did the best you could. You did what you were capable of. You were where you were. You couldn't do any more. So I think it's really important to not beat yourself up for the things, the choices and decisions that you made. So what? It happened. Move on. It's really important. And that does help you to re-establish your confidence in yourself. Yeah, you've made some mistakes, but you're not going to make that one again. You're going to make different ones probably, but that we're human. Another thing is to don't compare yourself to the past. It's kind of related. I mean, it's like, don't compare yourself to how it used to be. I never used to have these wrinkles. I used to have beautiful brown hair. Just don't compare yourself to who you were, because that's who you were then. And things happened and, evolved from that person. Now you're a different person. You've grown, you've learned, and, just comparing yourself to the past is not a good use of time. That encourages negativity. So just embrace who you are, love who you are, and all your flaws and beautiful perfections as well. You've got both. And I think that's really important. Another thing, the fifth thing, is to talk with a friend, a trusted friend. This is a way to regain your confidence, because I'm guaranteeing you that they see strengths in you that you don't see in yourself. If you were to ask your friends, describe me in 3 words, I bet they would say positive things that you would never say about yourself. Because they see you as a friend. They love you. They care for you. And I think that just having people around you that they rise to the higher level, they see the things that are really positive about you. Those make you feel confident, and your self-esteem really gets a big boost. So, and do the same for others. I mean, this is important too, that if you have a friend who's feeling a bit low, just say to them, you've got strength to handle this. Remember the time you did this, or I was really moved by how you handled that situation. Remind them how strong they are. It's a really important step in regaining your confidence and self-esteem. And then, of course, we've talked about this a little bit before in terms of giving back, but share your talents. You have a lot to offer. And if it's with a community group, your church group, people that you've just met recently in a knitting group or a meetup, share your talents, because in teaching someone something, you reinforce what you know. By teaching someone about a topic you're expert in, it's like, wow, I know how to do that better than that person, and I've got some skills to share. So I think that those are some things that might help. And I'm sure you've got other thoughts too. I really appreciate, as we're talking here, to go back and leave comments in the section below and tell us how you've regained your confidence, what's made you feel strong, invincible. Not perfect. No one's perfect, but strong enough to do the things you want to do, to get out there in the world and have fun and enjoy it. Enjoy this time in your life. So I guess a question for you is, do you ever feel lacking in self-confidence? And if so, what is the cause of those feelings? What do you do? Do you ever feel like you're not able to do something, you're lacking self-confidence? Did you ever think about what the feelings were related to that? And then what do you do? Okay, that's my thought for the day. That's our question to answer and discuss. So go into the comment section and read what people say. I love how the conversations start to get very personal and real and human, authentic, and just respond, like, share, add your comments and your own thoughts, how you handled it. You may just help someone today. All right, everyone. Well, I do hope that you have a great day. I hope that you feel strong enough and confident enough to go out and do something that you love, that you care about. And I will join in the conversation, and I look forward to seeing you all back here again soon. Have a really wonderful day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye for now.